Hello lovely people, welcome back to my channel. My name is Geraldine. If it's your first time tuning in, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Okay, yeah guys, today's recipe is one that I'm so excited to share with us. Okay, not just because it brings back a lot of memories, but because I had been able to create it into something I'm so proud of, something I'm proud to share with you guys. Okay, yes, this recipe, we call it Bean-Bach, and it kind of, I don't know which people exactly prepares this, but I attended a boarding school in somewhere in Abia State. Okay, and it was one of the things they served us back then. It was something to kind of laugh about because, you know, boarding house with a lot of people in it, they just prepare it in a way that it's both economical for the school, and at the same time, you know, trying to give us something balanced. Yeah, so we kind of made fun of it. In fact, last week, before I made this particular recipe, I had to go to my classes Facebook page to ask them, hey girls, do any of you remember Bean-Bach? You know, and it was something we all thought was hilarious and laughed about and everything. Okay, and since then, guys, I've been thinking, how do I make this meal? You know, I normally I generally love anything made with beans, you know, grains, this kind of beans, and for example, when you make akara moi moi, you know, or even boil it with yam and things like that. So, but this particular recipe, it's, you know, the way it was made back then, I must say the truth, it wasn't something that you look forward to eating at all, except you're very hungry. Okay, yeah, so I've been thinking, how do I create this food into something that would, you know, be attractive, kind of inviting, that someone would kind of look forward to eating. Yeah, so guys, what I've been able to create, I'm going to be sharing with us in this video. Yeah, I hope you find it interesting, and I hope you find it to be something you will be willing to try. Okay, yes guys, let's get in and make Bean-Bach. By the way, it's a combination of beans and Abacha cassava flakes. Yes, so I'm gonna be like kind of garnishing it with other things that normally wasn't there when I met the food. Okay, when I met the food back in secondary school. Okay, yeah, so we're gonna create this food into something interesting. Let's get it. Okay. So guys, I tried walking us through this video while making the food, but at a point I put on my ventilator and it got too loud. Yeah, so we'll be voicing over instead. Okay, yes, the number one thing we'll need for this recipe is Abacha. Like you can see here, I hope you can see what Abacha. So I have about 3 handfuls of Abacha, and here I have three types of beans. I have the kidney beans, I have this giant white beans, and I have chickpeas as well. Yes, but back in school, I think they used the normal Nigerian brown beans, or white beans, iron beans, whatever you have. But this one is already cooked. The reason I'm using it, it makes my work easier. Okay, yes, but if you have to cook your beans, then just choose any beans of your choice. Okay, so I bought that in a pack, and this is what it looks like, and it's organic. Okay, so I'm gonna be making a version 2 of this recipe where I'll be cooking the beans from scratch. Wait for it, guys. Okay, meanwhile, let's add some salt to our fish. We're gonna be rubbing in this salt so that we'll get some of the taste in before we fry the fish. Okay, okay, my fish is salted. I'll just set it aside for a little bit before I fry it. Then back to this Abacha. I'm gonna be, anyway, before that, let me introduce you to the rest of the ingredients. I'll be needing my Scotch bonnet pepper, but of course I'm not going to be using all this. This is too much. I'll be needing this. It's a slice of red bell pepper, small onion, yeah. And then for spicing, I have a Maggi cube here. It's not Maggi, just a stock cube. I have a pinch of ehuru. This is not calabash nutmeg. And then I have a paprika powder here. I have a curry and thyme. Then I have a crayfish, ground crayfish in here, and of course I have salt. Okay. Yes. For garnishing, guys, we'll be using a fresh spinach. Yeah. And then I found the garden eggs, guys. Yay. So let's start cooking. So guys, we're going to be adding some hot water to this abacha and setting it aside for say 1 minute. Okay, yes. Meanwhile, I'll go ahead and grate the peppers. Yeah, I'm using the grater because it's so small. I don't want to go blending in my blender. My blender is so big, guys. Yeah, so I'll just grate it and grate the paprika and the habanero pepper or scotch bonnet pepper. Yes, I do this often, especially when I don't want to wake my sleeping boy. Okay, yeah, and it serves just perfect. So guys, I'll go ahead and grate up the peppers like I told us. Yeah, I'll be using half of that scotch bonnet pepper, but I'll be adding more later if I need. Okay, yes. Meanwhile, it's all grated up, and the next is to drain our abacha. By this time, it's been sitting for over 1 minute, and that's not nice. We don't want it to get soggy, remember? Yeah, so I'll go ahead now and drain this and wash the abacha very well, making sure that no sand left on it. Okay, and we'll be back. It's time to fry our fish, and here is the grated peppers. Okay, yes, let's get cooking. Over here in this pan, I'm going to be adding some palm oil. And why is she using palm oil, someone might ask? Yeah, of course, it's because we're making a local dish, and since we'll be using palm oil anyway, let's just start and finish with palm oil. Okay guys, yes. Now I'm just gonna drop in the salmon. Feel free to use mackerel for this process. Okay, yeah, I'm using salmon because that's what I have here right now, but trust me, if I have mackerel, I'll go for it. Okay, yeah, so we're gonna be frying on each side about 5 minutes. Yeah, we're still gonna be dropping this in the oven to dry very well. Yes, but we just get this local palm oil taste into it first. Yes guys, so the fish is ready, and I'm just dropping them on a paper lined grill rack. Yes, so I'll drop this in the oven until I need it, which is like in about 5-10 minutes. Okay, yeah, not so long. I'm taking off the used oil because I wouldn't want to continue with an already heated oil. Okay, yes, we're going to be putting fresh oil in this pan for the rest of the cooking process. Yeah, from now we'll start making the magic happen. Okay guys, so I'm sauteing the onions right now, and I added a little bit of salt. Please note that I didn't allow my oil to get too hot. Yes, now I'm adding the grated peppers. Okay, feel free to use as much pepper as you want to. Yeah, I'm going to just combine everything together, making sure that the pepper, the oil and everything is mixed together, and then I'll go ahead and spice. Here is my ehuru. Remember, I'm using the fresh grated ehuru, okay? And that's about a pinch of it, not a lot. And now I'll be adding the ground crayfish, about 2 teaspoons now. I might be adding a little bit more later, okay? Meanwhile, I'll just mix that in, okay? What we're doing is forming the base for this dish, okay? And we want to make it as yummy and spicy as possible. And juicy too. We don't want it dry at all. And now, guys, here is the otazi I promised us I'll be bringing out. Yeah, it's been in the freezer. It's fresh but frozen otazi leaves. I'm adding about 2 pinches of that, not a lot. Yeah, as we know, otazi is bitter, but I just love the taste it gives my local dishes, okay? You can skip it if you don't want to, but I love it in my food. Now I've just added the mix of beans. We'll let the sauce kind of infuse into these beans, guys. Just imagine what the taste would be like. Now we're going to be adding the stock cube, already crushed. We'll mix that in as well. And then we're going to be adding the paprika powder, the curry powder, a little bit of each of them, guys, a little bit. It's actually optional, but I just love these 3 spices in whatever beans I'm cooking, okay? Yeah. If it were to be just abacha, I wouldn't be using that, but because of the beans, I had to use the spices. Feel free to skip it if you don't want them, okay? So I'll mix that in thoroughly, and by this time the aroma was just, heavenly. So guys, I'll taste for salt before we continue, okay? I needed a little bit more pepper, so instead I went for ground chili pepper, okay? Yes. So this is one food you want to be warm. You don't want it like bland. You want it to be a little bit hot. Even if you don't eat pepper, just add. If you don't eat pepper like myself, make sure you add enough to feel the pepper, but not too much, okay? That's what I'm trying to achieve. And if you love pepper so much, go ahead and use as much as you want, okay? At this point, guys, I'm adding the abacha. This is the same point where you will add it if you were to be cooking your beans from scratch. Yes, just cook your beans like you normally do. Then add your abacha at this point when it's ready and cooked. The rest of the abacha goes in as well. Yeah, I made sure to get all of it out of that sieve, guys. This abacha is so precious in the diaspora. So after combining everything together, this is what we have. And our garden egg at this point will be going in. I'm gonna be just cutting it into cubes and adding to this recipe. This is one of the things that wasn't added to this recipe back then in school, but I just found fresh garden eggs and decided to add this, and what a great taste it gave this. I just love the way it gave this recipe a different kind of crunch and everything. Oh, so at this point I tasted for salt and it was okay. Next is our spinach, fresh spinach, guys. And for this spinach, you don't want to cook it at all. At this point I had turned down the stove to the minimum, like the lowest temperature I have, because what I need from this point is just to mix in the spinach. We're not going to be cooking it, so we want the spinach as fresh as possible in the food. And it's ready, guys. It's ready. Let's go ahead and serve. But before that, I decided to have a taste, guys. I couldn't wait. So guys, food is pretty ready. I'm just gonna be setting this aside and dishing. By this time too, the fish I'm grilling in the oven is ready. Okay, yes guys. So guys, I'm really happy with what I did to this dish. Yeah, those garden eggs and then the fish and the spinach took it to another different level. Okay, yeah, if you attended a boarding school where this was served, please tell us in the comment section what you think about this new version. Give it a huge thumbs up because I'm sure you like it, and let me know if you're willing to try it. Okay, thank you so much for hanging on as always. Thank you so much. I appreciate. Have a beautiful day. Bye bye.